Hey, energy flow plan, and we get to be moving energy. So we have the delight of doing this together in person again for September. And this is actually beautiful because today is actually the new moon in Virgo. And we are also here in the States celebrating Labor Day. And we're hearing a lot of buzz like, oh, this is the last day of the summer vacation. And just reflecting, you know, Sarah and I, we do what we do partly because we have lived in that rule book for so long and have learned to really embrace, and especially this last summer for both of us in our own journeys, but over the years, embrace that we get to live a life of unconventional adventure, and we define what that looks like every day, and we buck up against the rules, and we get to be okay with that. And that, you know, that there was a lot of there's a lot of growing pains that go with it. And part of the reason why we create these energy flow plans for our business is so that we have a map, a dossier, and some real pragmatic action steps that we get to take that are kind of premeditated, literally premeditated, that we contemplate these things ahead of time so that we're prepared to face, you know, whatever the current reality is, and maintain our inner sovereignty, maintain our peace, because that inner peace, that's biological. That's a cellular job. And the best we can do as humans is learn how to stay out of the beautiful self-organizing organism that this human body is. For a woman, it's even more powerful. Like, we have such a divine machine. And so these energy flow plans every month get to support us in supporting our business pursuits, but also supporting us being great moms, great partners, great wives, great whatever it is you're showing up to want to create a bigger experience of, that you actually get to do it because you have some tools. And that when things go perhaps a little sidewise in your emotional spectrum, that you're still a master of your own emotions. And we were just jamming out before, like there's some deeper teachings that we want to offer around that. But energy flow plan, what does that look like for us personally in sharing this out? So we're in Virgo season, which is so good. This is like, and it's harvest. And that's really what I personally love about coming into full equinox, is harvesting the bounty. And I love practicing this kind of cornucopia experience of like, you're harvesting your bounty and you're collecting that bounty, and then you're sharing that bounty. It's so simple. So energy flow plan for this month, what intuitively came in personally for our agency, our business, Sarah and I, is we're looking at 3 energetic experiences that we can tap into. So we look at our chakra system, and of the 7 chakras, what came through really strong for us this month was the crown chakra. So really focusing in on how we get to strengthen what is already powerful as our crown chakras, and then working with our radiant body. And I was like, of course that intuitively came in because of the 10 bodies in our energetic anatomy. The radiant body is the one that is part of the ether. It is beyond the aura. It is our magnificence. It is literally how you radiate out into the environment that you're in. And you don't have to have any kind of degree in science or understand any mysticism. Every human being on some level knows the depth and truth of that. You feel somebody's energy, you feel their aura, you feel their presence, you see them as radiant, you see them as gray. Everyone feels that. Everyone picks up on that. We're born like that. Again, self-organizing organisms. So how are Sarah and I gonna, of the 10 bodies this month, really wield all the energy that's available to us in terms of nurturing our radiant body? How do we create more radiance this month? And the word that really is kind of the umbrella term for us this month in our business is lightness and surrender, which actually comes from the Gene Keys. And there's some pragmatics around lightness and surrender that we're calling in for the growth of our business this month, for our personal development, our self-advancement as moms. And so we've got, okay, crown chakra, top of the head, crown chakra. This is the chakra that talks through the ethers, that gets the intuitive hits, that gets to be strengthened. Our radiant body is this energy dynamism that pulses out, that has this beautiful harmonious relationship with the environment. And that is true relaxation. I shared that the other day. But relaxation, the physiological definition of relaxation, the physical definition of relaxation isn't what we think it is. It's not like Netflix and bonbons and chilling and not working and jamming out at the beach. It's all those things, but relaxation isn't just reserved for that. Relaxation can look a million different ways, but the physiological aspect of it is harmonious interaction with the external environment. Is your body in harmonious interaction with the external environment? So that means if you're anxious, are you using that anxiety to fuel you? If you're sad, are you using that sadness to nourish you? If you are in chillax mode, are you receiving the full pleasure of that? If you're harvesting your bounty, are you present? Are you living in harmony, in cellular harmony and cellular freedom? So that's what we're focusing on, crown chakra and supporting the crown chakra. So there's nutrition for that. There's beautiful nutrition for that. And also what came in, and no, there's never a coincidence, of the 5 elements that we want to really focus our attention and energy on nourishing this month is the element of ether. So of the 5 elements, ether, crown chakra, radiant body, lightness and surrender. And so how are we going to cultivate that for the month of Virgo season, when it's all about work, but work in service, work in community, right? Work in good spirit. And that is what we are landing in as we enter into this beautiful Virgo. So the energy flow plan, you know what? For Sarah and I, it's like we get to interact with more people right now. We get to have a diversity of interaction with people, and that will help us enhance and really vibrate our radiance. So be in interaction with other people, and then you will enhance your radiance just by the very fact of that practice. Things that we can do to nourish the crown chakra, you know, it's sometimes nutritional. It's you know, more mushrooms this month. It's simple little techniques like that. And I have our flow plan right here, and it's ether is so much about, again, opening up that intuitive conversation. And so one of the things that dropped in was, you know, focus on the ego and equalizing the energy of the ego so that you can use the information that the ego is giving you, but it's not overpowering the subtlety of the intuition conversation. Sometimes the ego's chatter is way loud and then we don't hear our intuition speak to us, and vice versa, right? You know, creatives always say it came through me, like the idea came through me. Yeah, because it's like these ideas aren't ours. We receive them like a great gift, but our ego is also a great gift. So how we harmonize that. So it's practicing on perhaps dropping the level of importance we place on outcomes. So noticing even in the moment, I'm attached to this looking a certain way, and it's really important that it has to look this way, and it's making my body feel tight. Where can I loosen up and surrender and lighten up around that? And that again is enhancing this crown chakra. So practices, right? Daily practices. Now we know we have this agenda. We have it mapped out, and we get to refer to this like a dashboard. What's on the dashboard? What do we get to focus on? So that's really all I'm going to say, because that was a lot. And I feel like, bleh. And I know my homie here is like holding this stick, and I know it's probably very uncomfortable at this point. So any pragmatics that you want to add to that, Sarah, and
First,
I'll hold for
removing
you.
the hair from all over my face.
I love it.
You got it. Thank you.
You got it?
So,
You sure?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. No,
Now she's in it to win it. That's how she
Always.
rolls. Like, you get her go. She's like, I don't know if I'm going to hold it the whole time, and then she's in it.
There you go. So the pragmatics, I love that we were talking about the lightness, and I love that we were talking about intuition and dropping the level of importance. So one of the pragmatics that I would invite you to indulge yourself in is just
And you mean me, because it's us, because it's our
us.
plan.
Yeah, us.
So this is how
and
we.
the
It's like we're
audience.
just sharing our
Are we going
plan
around?
here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
It is to indulge yourself if you are tickled and you want to download your own template that we are attaching somewhere around this video. Is going to be a link. Sit down and be with what's coming up for you, what are things that are exciting for you, and also pay attention to the old definitions of things. What are you attached to? What are you kind of married to? How things are supposed to look like Diane said earlier. And where can you bring in more lightness? What am I, how does that get to look like? For example, Diane and I were just sitting on a beach earlier, and it just dawned on me that all these years of running a business, one of the big things for me was boundaries and clear capacity, being clear on the capacity of how many people I can serve. And I really became convoluted when things started to grow. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have the capacity for this. I don't think I can handle all of that. It wasn't until we were sitting on the beach that it dawned on me that the reason why this was coming through was because I had somehow an idea that the only time that we are working is if I'm sitting in the office and creating this separation between family and work. And of course, I was very limited in capacity of how many hours I'm willing to spend in the office, without realizing that, hey, if I redefine that, if I bring some more lightness in it, this right now is work. And we're out of the office and we're having fun.
And it is the office.
It is the office. And it's all I ever
Beach
wanted.
blanket office.
Exactly. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is to give you food for thought, to go around and look at your life and look at the things that you're committing to and look at the
Lighten up
definitions.
around. Yep.
What are the self-imposed glass ceilings? Where are you your own bottleneck? And where can you bring more lightness to it? And then part two, prioritize what is really important to you and what just gets to go. And that's gonna be the beginning of your playlist that you're gonna find on page like 3, I believe. Page
Yep.
3 or 4 of the template. Again, link to the template is just somewhere around this video. So Dan is looking for it right now, so
It's not part of the one I have pulled up, but it's
Gotcha.
it's a nugget. It's
There
a
we
gift.
go.
It's
There
a
we go.
gift.
all right, that's all from me. Anything to add?
Ooh. Oh, it's so rich. Yeah, just exactly that. Your radiance is tied to how first you have a relationship with yourself. So find those ways you could just lighten up. I mean, Sarah literally uncovered this, but it was like just the ability to lighten up and see things from a 30,000 foot view and go, well, what really makes me happy? What makes me happy is, I want to have work look like being on the beach.
Yeah.
How does that get to be? Easy.
And let me just tell you something about lightening up. My whole life, I have been told that I was being too serious, that no one would want me if I were that serious. However, people who really know me, they know that I'm actually a fun person.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah. And she was probably high. And what's really funny is coming into the reflection of my whole life, people always said to me, "You're too silly. You don't. You got it. Nobody's gonna take you seriously. You're a clown. I was a class clown. Now, God, how is class clown? Anybody that knows me and grew up with me knew that
Yeah.
for sure. And I know that if some of my besties are wild, they'll be like, "Yep, I was a loudmouth. I was a fidgety class clown. Always making a joke. Always finding." And you know what happened? Everyone told me all those things, and I believed them. And guess what? I got so rigid. I mean, the size of the stick up my ass, which I chose to have put into me, caused me so much pain, sickness.
Yeah.
I am so grateful that I have since removed that huge stick. But even when I notice the rigidity coming up, I'm like, how do I get to use it to my favor? And even that is silly and light. And I noticed this summer many things I was taking way too seriously. I always attribute it to, anything you're planning in life, if you're showing up like Bridezilla to it, scratch your head. No judgment, because it's different for everyone. But I always thought it was funny, like, you're stressing out over planning a huge party to celebrate your romance.
Yeah, right? Been there, guilty.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm constantly like, am I really stressing about like what I have to make for dinner for Kaylee? Not a problem. No. Anyway, I think we hit some points.
Yeah.
It feels really good. This is how we are able to create this, and just want to offer this as a tool for you as well. So much love.